students, welcome to the course on Animal Diversity 1, Biology of Non-Chordates. The instructor for this Unit 3 is Dr. E. Harini, Head Department of Zoology, St. Joseph's College for Women Autonomous, Vishakhapatnam. Let's learn the general characters and classification of the phylum Platyhelminthes in this lesson. The contents are learning outcomes, introduction, general characters of phylum Platyhelminthes, and classification of the phylum Platyhelminthes. Learning outcomes. By the end of this lesson, students will be able to recall the general morphological and anatomical features of platyhelminths, including body symmetry, tissue organization, and organ systems. Explain the adaptations of platyhelminths to free-living and parasitic lifestyles, highlighting structural and functional modifications. Classify platyhelminths into major classes like Turbularia, Trematoda, and Cestoda, and apply distinguishing characteristics to identify the examples. The term platyhelminths was first proposed by Gegenbaur in 1859, and by definition the term platyhelminths means platys means flat and helminths means worms, and these have the following important characteristics. They are triploblastic, acoelomate and bilaterally symmetrical worms. They may be free-living or parasites. The body has a soft covering with or without cilia. Their body is dorsoventrally flattened without any segments and appears. Coming to the general characters of platyhelminths, the platyhelminths are bilaterally symmetrical and dorsoventrally flattened triploblastic worms. The flatworms are either free-living or parasites or commensals. They are triploblastic, that is, the body is derived from the three embryonic germ layers, the ectoderm, mesoderm, and the endoderm. The body is dorsoventrally flattened. They have a well-developed ventral surface with mouth and gonopore, and the body shape is generally worm-like but varies from moderately elongated, flattened to long ribbon-like and leaf-like. The flatworms are small to moderate in size, varying from microscopic to extremely elongated forms, measuring up to 10 to 15 meters. Their body is unsegmented except in the class Cestoda, example tapeworm. They are acoelomate, that is without any body cavity, and the space between the various organs is filled with special mesodermal tissues, the mesenchyme or parenchyma. The parasitic forms have hooks, suckers, and adhesive secretions which help them attach to the host tissue. Their body is covered with cellular, syncytial, and frequently ciliated epidermis, while the trematodes and cestodes, their body is covered with cuticle, they lack the epidermis. The digestive system is branched and incomplete without anus, altogether absent in Acela and Cestoda. The skeletal system, the respiratory system, and the circulatory systems are lacking. The excretory system includes lateral canals in Protonephridia, which are the flame cells, and these are absent in some primitive forms. The nervous system is primitive, ladder-like. The main nervous system consists of a pair of ganglia or brain, and one or three pairs of longitudinal nerve cords connected by transverse nerves. The sense organs are simple, mostly present in Turbularians, but they are generally reduced in parasitic forms. The eye spots or photoreceptors are found in free-living forms. The chemoreceptors and tangoreceptors generally occur in the form of ciliated pits and grooves. They are mostly hermaphroditic, which means each individual possesses both male and female reproductive organs. Reproductive system is highly developed and it's complex in most of the forms. It's well developed with gonads, gonoducts and accessory organs, and the eggs are mostly devoid of yolk. Yolk is produced separately in yolk or white line glands. The fertilization is internal, but cross-fertilization in trematodes and self-fertilization in cestodes is common. Fertilization is usually internal. The life cycle is complicated, involving one or more hosts. The development is direct or indirect, direct without any larval stage or indirect having many larval stages, and the life cycle is sometimes complicated. We could find parthenogenesis and polyembryony, commonly occurring in trematodes and tapeworms. Sometimes the tapeworms propagate by endogenous or exogenous budding. Coming to the classification of the phylum Platyhelminths, the phylum Platyhelminths is divided into three classes. Class 1 Turbellaria, example Dugetia and Convoluta. Class 2 Trematoda, example Fasciola and Cystosoma. And Class 3 Cystoda, example Taenia solium and Echinococcus. The Class 1 Turbellaria. The turbellarians are usually non-parasitic, free-living worms and are called as planarians. They are mostly terrestrial, marine or freshwater forms. The body is unsegmented and covered with ciliated cellular or syncytial epidermis containing mucus-secreting cells and rod-shaped bodies called rhabdites. The alimentary canal is incomplete, that is, it has a single opening, the mouth. The mouth is mid-ventral. The intestine is preceded by the muscular pharynx. The adhesive organs like the suckers are absent. The sense organs, the tangoreceptors, chemoreceptors and photoreceptors are common as these are mostly free-living forms. The excretory system consists of protonephridia and the flame cells. Mostly these are hermaphroditic and reproduction by asexual and sexual methods, and planaria is very common for regeneration also. The life cycle is direct and the development is without a larval stage. Examples planaria or Dugetia, Bipalium, Convoluta and Mesostoma. Coming to the examples of turbellarians, Dugetia and Bipalium. You can see the image of Dugetia, and this is also the image of Dugetia where you can see the mouth, you can see the pharynx, the eye spots, and this image is the image of Bipalium. The class Turbellaria is divided into the following orders. Order 1 Acela, Order 2 Rhabdocela, Order 3 Allocela, Order 4 Tricladida and Order 5 Polycladida. The class 2 Trematoda, these are mostly ectoparasitic or endoparasitic flatworms and are commonly called as flukes. Their body is unsegmented, dorsoventrally flattened, leaf-like and covered by a tegument. The tegument is thick but without cilia and rhabdites. The suckers and hooks are present for a parasitic mode of life. The oral sucker is present around the mouth for feeding and a ventral sucker or acetabulum for attachment, as we find in the case of Fasciola. The digestive system consists of the anterior mouth, a simple pharynx, and intestine with one, two or many branches, and the anus is absent. The excretory organs consist of protonephridia. There are three pairs of the longitudinal nerve cords and sense organs are poorly developed. They are mostly monoecious, example cystosoma hematobium, and the development is direct in ectoparasites or indirect in endoparasites with alternation of hosts. The life cycle is simple or complex with more than one host. Here the examples are Fasciola hepatica, the liver fluke, and the liver fluke inhabits the intestine. Cystosoma hematobium, which is the blood fluke, this inhabits the blood vessels, and Paragonimus westermanni is the lung fluke. These are the examples of the class Trematoda, Cystosoma hematobium, and the Fasciola hepatica. The class Trematoda is divided into the following orders. Order 1 Monogenia, and these monogenians are mostly ectoparasitic on aquatic vertebrates. Example Gyrodactylus, the Diplozone and the Polystoma. The order 2 Digenia, these are mostly endoparasites in vertebrates and invertebrates. Examples are Fasciola, Cystosoma and Bucephalus. Order 3 Aspidocotylia, these are endoparasites in the gut of fishes and reptiles. Example Aspidogaster. Class 3 Cestoda. These are endoparasitic in the intestine of vertebrates and they are commonly called as tapeworms. The body is flat, elongate and ribbon-like and measures 1 mm to 10 meters. The body is covered by a cuticle. The body is usually divided into scolex or head, neck and few to many proglottids. The anterior end or scolex is provided with adhesive structures like hooks, suckers, or both. And the scolex is followed by a neck, which forms new proglottids by transverse budding called strobilization. There is no alimentary canal and no sense organs. Each proglottid consists of one or two sets of male and female reproductive organs, thus they are hermaphrodite. The fertilization is internal and self-fertilization, and life cycle is complicated. The embryos with hooks usually involving two or more hosts. Example, Taenia solium, the pork tapeworm; Taenia saginata, the beef tapeworm; Echinococcus granulaceus, the dog tapeworm; Diphyllobothrium latum, the fish tapeworm; and Hymlonepis nana, the dwarf tapeworm. This image shows the scolex of Taenia solium, the pork tapeworm. You can see here that there are hooks, and these hooks are around 22 to 32, which are chitinous in nature, and they are arranged in two rows. And this central part is called as the rostulum. The apex is called as the rostulum, and these are the two rows of chitinous hooks. And you can see that there are four true suckers, and these act as organs of attachment. Taenia solium anchors to the intestinal mucosa with the help of the scolex. So this is also the image of Taenia solium showing the scolex part with hooks and suckers. These are the images showing the representatives of class Turbellaria, class Trematoda, and class Cestoda. The class Cestoda is divided into the following two subclasses: subclass A Cestodaria, subclass 2 Eucestoda. The subclass A Cestodaria, these are usually endoparasites in the intestine and coelomic cavities of fishes and reptiles. The body is unsegmented, leaf-like, without scolex and strobila. There is no alimentary canal. They have only one set of reproductive organs. And the larval lycophore has 10 hooks. The subclass B Eucestoda, the forms are long ribbon-like forms. The body is divided into scolex, neck, strobila with many proglottids, and the scolex expanded bearing adhesive structures. They are mostly with several sets of reproductive organs, and the larva is with 6 hooks. The class Cestoda is divided into the following two subclasses as we have seen in the previous slide. The subclass A Cestodaria comprises of two orders. Order 1 Amphilinidae, example Amphilina. Order 2 Gyrocotylidae, example Gyrocotyle. And the subclass B Eucestoda comprises of order 1 Protocephalidae, example Protocephalus. Order 2 Tetraphilidae, example Philobothrium. Order 3 Disculiseptidae, example Disculiceps; order 4 Lecanicephaloidea, example Lecanicephalum; order 5 Pseudophilidae, example Dibotryocephalus. And the order 6 of subclass Eucestoda, Trypanorhyncha, example Tetrarhynchus; order 7 Cyclophilidae, example Taenia and Echinococcus; order 8 Aporidae, example Gastrotaenia; order 9 Nipotinidae, example Nipotinia; order 10 Caryophilidae, example Caryophilus; and order 11 Spabothridae, Spabothrium is the example for this. Let's summarize what we have learnt about the phylum Platyhelminths in the previous slides. The phylum Platyhelminths, which are commonly known as flatworms, are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic and acoelomate forms with a dorsoventrally flattened body and organ system level of organization. They lack the circulatory respiratory systems, relying on diffusion. They possess flame cells for excretion and osmoregulation. And the nervous control is ladder-like, and most species are hermaphroditic with complex reproductive cycles, especially in parasitic forms. And the phylum is classified into three major classes. Class 1 Turbellaria, mostly free-living forms like Planaria. Class 2 Trematoda, parasitic flukes such as Fasciola hepatica. And Class 3 Cestoda, consisting of tapeworms like Taenia solium. These are the references cited for the topic discussed. Thank you for your patient listening.